Let us now see how to pass props. So here, inside this header component, in place of this static data, I just want to display in total how many questions we are having in our API. But here, inside this API, you can see we are already having array of 10 elements. So we are already having the data. So instead of creating separate state for this, using this data itself, we are going to derive our value. So now here I will come inside this app.js. Now inside this quiz question, we are having entire array of object. So now what I will do, I am just going to find the length of my array. So below this, I will be creating one variable. I will write number of questions. This will be equal to my array is nothing but quiz question, and for this I will be using length property. Why I am using length property? Using this length property, I can access number of elements present inside the array. Now here I will write log, simply display this number of question. Save it. Come here, you can see below this I am having the result 10. Now what I want to do, this 10 I just want to display on my screen. So what we are doing, again we are updating our UI. So whenever we are updating our UI, we have to use our piece of state. But here in this case, we are already having the data. So instead of creating separate state, we have just derived our value. I will remove this console. So now this data is present inside app.js. But this number of question, I just want to render on my header component. Why? Because here, as soon as my status is ready, I am rendering header component. So that is the reason header component is displayed. So now inside this header component, I want to display the value 10. So what we will do, this num questions, we are going to pass as a prop to header component. I will copy and here I will be pasting. So easily we can pass the data inside this header component. Why? Because our app is the parent component and this header is the child component. So using props, we can easily pass the data from parent to child component. But inside this, you should pass exact same variable which we have created here. So now inside this header, we are passing our prop, that is nothing but number of question. Now what we have to do, inside this header component, we have to accept the prop. I will open this file. Now here, I will simply write props. Below this, I will write log and then I'm just going to write props. Props is a shorthand for property. I will come here. Now you can see what it has returned. It has returned object. I will refresh once. Now you can see it has returned me object, and inside that object I am having number of question for which value is 10. So immediately from this object I can destructure this number of question. So what we have to do? I have to write my object. From that object I'm just going to destructure this number of question. So whatever value we are passing here, exact same value we have to pass it here. So this value inside this curly braces, this should be exactly matching with this variable, and this value, whatever we are giving, this should be exactly matching with this. Now here I'm just going to paste number of question, save it. Now you can see successfully I am able to get 10. Again let me refresh. You can see I am able to access 10. Now what I want, this 10 I want to render on my UI. So here this number of question I will be passing inside JSX. I will write curly braces and here I am going to write number of question and I will just remove this console. Save it. Now you can see successfully on my UI I am able to display 10. Why I am able to display 10? Because inside my API I am having 10 object and my length of the array is 10. So that is the reason I am able to display this 10. Understanding how to pass prop is also an important concept in this project.